Hey everybody, so casual collector here. Just wanted to show you guys, this is going to be probably one of a multi-part series. So what I have here is the trigger housing and magazine housing out of my M1943 Spanish main battle rifle. As you guys can see, or as you have seen in the previous videos, it's had quite a bit of rust on it. Look pretty rough here. I've actually soaked it down a little bit in PB Blaster. I was actually, before I started the video here, I was trying to remove the floor plate here, which appears to be seized up pretty good. But that's not the purpose of the video today. I had mentioned in one of my previous videos, um, when you encounter any kind of CNR gun that's rusty, a lot of times people wonder, well, how can you get that rust off and try to preserve as much bluing underneath as possible without destroying your finish. And it was told to me, well, I was probably around 15 years old, by a gun dealer, one of the best things you can do is actually take some 4/0 steel wool and Vaseline. Now the best way to do this is liberally coat your coat your steel wool in Vaseline and get a good, decent slathering on there. And so, for instance, this is probably going to take more than just steel wool. But back here you can see, this has got a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this here so you guys can see how good of a job it actually does. Now it's going to get all gunked up and everything on here. It's going to be nasty. But I want to show you guys how you do this. Now typically on your larger areas, what you're going to want to do is you're going to apply just a light amount of pressure and just slowly, in a circular motion, rub the area. Checking in between, wiping the metal off in between to see how deep you're getting. Now you're not going to get deep really quickly or anything, but you don't want to just keep rubbing and rubbing and rubbing until you end up destroying the finish. So as you can see here, there's a little bit of rust on here. Now this is obviously a smaller area, so I can't do a nice circular motion, but I'm just going to show you what this does. I think you guys will be kind of surprised. A lot of people have different methods. Some people, they use some kind of penetrating wool and all kinds of other stuff, but the neat part about this is how well it works. And I'm telling you, you'll be shocked. If you want to just remove the rust while trying to preserve as much of this as you can, this is one of the best ways that I have found to go about doing it. Now you guys saw the little pockets of rust on here. Now, all I did, you've seen how long I've done this. Very short amount of time. So now I want to show you what it looks like underneath once I wipe all this Vaseline off. Make sure you get it good because you want to see where you're at. You want to know how much progress you're making. So, this was just a very short amount of rubbing. And you can see the the surface rust is actually already gone. What's left behind is, some of the pitting that remains. There's not a lot you can do about that. For instance, I'll take, you can see it here, here, here. I'll do some of this, and you guys can see, how well it really works. I know it sounds stupid, but, an older gentleman, he was actually a retired preacher that had told my grandfather about this method, and we tried it, and sometimes, I hate to say this, but I'm just gonna be honest with you, sometimes you go hunting and sometimes your gun gets neglected and you might start getting a little bit of surface rust. Well, this was one of the best ways to get that surface rust off without destroying your bluing. Now, obviously, on some of these areas where the pitting or where the surface rust is a little deeper, a little bit more, I don't know, I guess I call it slag. I mean, it's not the proper term, I know, but you're gonna have to rub a little bit more, use a little bit more pressure. Get in it just a little bit more. But you guys can hear, you know, how much pressure I'm applying there. It's a decent amount on that big area. But what you want to do is you just want to remove that rust. You want to prevent any further damage from occurring. Alright, now like you guys had saw in the previous video, obviously, you know, Hunter's Lodge decided to take a drill bit down the side of that when they were doing that lovely stock repair. Alright, now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Is this going to, you know, make this thing a beauty queen? No, it's not. But, you know, there was pitting here, there's pitting here, there's pitting back here, a little bit of pitting here. But what I've done is I've gone through and I've removed that surface of rust there. Now, also what's taken place is you've gone back and lubed that really well. And, you know, you can always clean this off and oil it or whatever you want to do. But this is just a, you know, what I'll do is I'll finish cleaning this up and, you know, kind of, you guys saw what it looked like before. I guess I should have done a before and after shot. But anyway, what I'm going to do is clean this up and show you the after, which granted, you know, it was pitted. Yes, I get that. It's going to show pitting. But if you can at least get the, you know, get the surface rust off of it, you know, clean it up rather nicely, it's not so bad. Now what you just saw back here on this trigger guard, you saw a lot of that came right off. That's pretty cool how that works. Not all of it's going to do that. The main thing behind the Vaseline is it helps protect the finish. Provides a little bit of lubricity so that you're not, you know, tearing away at your bluing. You can see I've already gotten into the metal there. Doesn't take long. But, you know, I knew this thing was not going to be the prettiest. So, I'm not overly concerned if I remove a little bit of bluing here and there. I mean, come on, it's pitted. Let's be real. Okay, let's take a look at this. Alright, once again, pitted back here. Had a good amount of rust on it. And now you can see what this looks like. Hopefully you guys can see this. I hope so. But I'll post some still shots so you guys can see it. There's actually even a little bit inside this trigger guard. You know, another cool thing you can take is you can clean that too. It's probably going to take a lot less to clean that. See how nasty that's getting. That's when you know you're getting that rust off. Start turning brown like that. Now, are there other methods out there? Of course. This is just one that I like. Everybody's got their own. I get that. But you know, it's one that works pretty good. Relatively inexpensive. You guys probably can't see down in there, but you can see that is almost as smooth as a baby's rear end. It's got that good, you know, it's got that really cool surplus look to it. You know, you guys can laugh at my plate here, help catch all my rust. You know, obviously stuff like this you're probably gonna have to scrape. You know, I usually take a screwdriver and kind of scrape that some, get some of the bigger stuff off. You know, the bigger flakes before I start going at it with the steel wool. You can tell there's a lot on there. You guys are probably shocked at what I'm doing here right now. But gotta get this rust off, or at least stop it. See, that's what it should look like. Obviously, that's not the case. See this right here? I may actually have to take and you can see how bad that is. That's pretty bad. But let's play. Let's see what we can do. I mean, I'm not going to be taking that off, obviously, but I want to see what I can do here and on the other side. Get you a good slather of Vaseline. Start over here because this is a nicer side. Oh man. You see, guys? This is where I get myself in trouble. I'm already making a mess. A bigger mess. Okay. Let's try this. There's a good amount of pitting there. I can feel it, and I'm sure you guys can hear it. Now you can see it. So yeah, you see how bad that is? When it gets really bad like this, I may actually take a wire brush to it. There's no amount of Vaseline and steel wool that's going to fix that. I don't care how skilled you are. You know, you can see I just took a piece off right there, but this is really bad. But you guys kind of get the picture. You know, it's really easy to do, really easy to work with. Just take your time, go slow. You know, wipe it off in between, check it out, see how your work is progressing. This follower actually looks like it's in really nice shape. You guys saw that rust there. See, some of it, if you're really lucky, is just surface rust. Come right off. Notice I missed a spot. Got it. See what I mean? If it's just surface rust and it's really good and blued underneath, it'll clean up really nice. I mean, the results will surprise you. You can see I'm going to have to come back and clean that part. But, you know, it's a start. You know, and like I told you guys before, you know, this thing's not going to be a safe clean. It's going to be something to play with. Yeah, it's going to have some pitting. Does that mean it's not usable? No. It just has a little more character. Anyway, so this is, I just wanted to show you guys kind of how I'm doing it. I'll finish cleaning this up and I'll post another segment to this video. I'll end up splicing them together and then you guys can kind of see how it ended up. Because you guys also obviously saw how bad it was, you know, when I tore it down in my second video on it. I was kind of shocked at what they did, but anyway, this kind of gives you an idea of how to use Vaseline and steel wool. Now I'm also going to do a segment on the, you know, on the upper part of the action, you know, the receiver action, so you guys can see that. I think it's going to come. I think it's going to come to look a lot better. But anyway, I just want to show you how this is done. It's not the perfect method, but you know, it's relatively inexpensive, and I think it works quite well. So anyway, if you guys like it, hit the like button. Like I said, I'm going to do more parts to this, and I'll do another one of fitting the stock to it. I did get a replacement stock for Numrich, like I told you guys in my second video. It looks phenomenal, actually. So I'll be fitting it to that stock, and then once I get this thing put back together, take it and maybe have a little bit of range time. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like I said, more to come on this stuff. Take care.